first. You make a picture, then we're gonna judge it. But you're no good, drawing is hard.
Welcome to Drawing is Hard. I'm Mikey.
I'm Mike.
All right, as always, we have 5 suggestions for Drew to draw today. We've got Steve Buscemi, Cobra Commander, Space Station, Nerf, and Pebbles. So we don't have Jess. Mike, can you pretend to be Jess today? Jess, can you take? Thanks, Jess. So while Mike's doing that, I'm gonna sit here all by myself.
I want fruity pebbles. That's all I think when I see pebbles. Or tiny meteors that are coming at, like the movie Gravity, starring Steve Buscemi.
How many Nerf objects did you have in your possession as a child?
Not as many as I would have wanted.
Okay, that is
some.
the right answer, because everything should have been made of Nerf at one point. I had Nerf football. I had Nerf gun. I had Nerf pool toy that I hit people with at the public pool. By the way, totally kicked out for a lot of days. All I know is they have now a Nerf like nuclear missile. Have you seen this? You go there and it's called the Nerf nuke. And I was like, that's brilliant. And I don't think it's actually by Nerf. I think it's somebody who made a Nerf toy into a nuke. But basically it's a giant sphere with all the different darts out the sides. You shoot it into the air, and before it hits the ground, it explodes within like 200 feet. And it just shoots darts in every direction. I'm like, that is awesome. Cleaning it up would suck, but that is awesome.
All right, so that was the most fun 12 seconds. Now I'm going to spend the next 3 hours re-preparing to fire it again.
I like how when I draw something terrible, it sounds like the marker is mocking me, making like the most terrible sound possible.
You know what they never talk about too? Like with Cobra Commander and all those different like, I don't know, like wartime cartoon character deals. They never talk about pay scales. Like who gets paid more? Obviously Cobra Commander is running the show, but
Sure.
I imagine he's pulling down like a solid like, you know, $8,500 a year or something, because I don't know how much they get paid, but I'm assuming it's nothing considering they're constantly blowing up shit, and that's got to get from deductions, you know?
Well, yeah. Well, I guess it depends. I mean, because G.I. Joe is always kicking their ass, so they can't be making much money.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, $8,500 a year is, like, generous, considering, you know?
You got a bigger marker. The problem is, there is another one, but it's going to be a different shade of orange, and with the type of detail I'm trying to put into this, that would just be, it would just be uncouth.
It looks like there's some color on it. Whenever you're ready.
Let's see here.
Oh, God.
Okay.
It looks like fucking super monkey ball got launched into space there. Ugh.
That's either the best or the worst Steve Buscemi I've ever seen in my life.
I like how there's cracks on the visor, I guess.
Well, that's because Cobra Commander's a douche and he just cut Buscemi's air cord there.
Ah, they're getting the story already. Cobra Commander did cut the air hose.
What, is he saying snip?
I think that's scissors, so it's the sound snip.
Okay, I thought he was holding a sailboat cutting that line saying snip.
I have cut your line with a paper airplane.
Yeah.
I had to say snip, because otherwise it just looks like he's holding pizza.
Back to Steve Buscemi for a moment here. Either Drew has a really, really poor view of Steve Buscemi, and I think most people would agree that he's not the best looking actor in Hollywood, but either Drew has a really screwed up view of Buscemi, or his face has gone mental from the fact that he's now got no air and his face shield is cracking.
I think it's pretty clever, though. Like, you got to think to yourself, if you're losing air, you can't get any worse, right? So no matter how he drew Buscemi at that point, he was gonna look that bad. Whether it's supposed to be he's that bad or he's currently that bad, like there's no lose in that. So that's a win-win for that.
That's the way I figure. So if he's got cracks in the helmet, I don't have to be good at his face. It can look as bad as it needs to be, because it's like at the end of Total Recall.
What Nerf gun is that? Is that the Nerf not working gun?
Apparently it's the Nerf Space Dart 50, which fires space darts, because maybe it's a modified Nerf gun, because those Nerf darts do look really pointy. So maybe he was firing Nerf darts at Cobra Commander in the hopes that the dart would actually connect. Maybe they're poison Nerf darts.
Yeah, you tape a needle on the end. How else are you supposed to hurt your friends as a kid? Don't do this, kids.
I do want to know how they got a helicopter up into space.
Especially that helicopter, because it looks like as soon as the rotor starts spinning, it's cutting the fin off the back. Well, that's not going to work anymore.
Guys, it's a space copter. Cobra can afford space copters.
It doesn't even really look like a helicopter upon closer inspection. It's like a combination between a bobsled and the cars that you see on Space Mountain.
Well, in conclusion, it's Nerf or nothing. So,
In
great
this
job.
case, closer to nothing.
You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Mediocre praise, but I'll admit I could have put G.I. Joe in there, but neither of them could have been better, and you're not going to see anything better than that for like a month. So like, comment, subscribe, and then look at what these clowns do. Good night.